This SESSLERS something is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. All right, everyone. Hey, before I talk about what I was going to talk about, in reference to the video I did a couple weeks ago about kind of suggestions about critical theory and stuff like that, I had a couple more ideas. One, a book I love. It's nearly my Bible. Umberto Eco's The Limits of Interpretation. Also, I was going to recommend reading criticism of things that you don't know about. One of the best examples, the ferociously intelligent but sometimes questionable opinions of H.L. Mencken. Amazing writing skills. Like I said, right around the turn of the century, he has a value system that's a little bit off, but he also writes about very popular books and other forms of entertainment from the time that no one remembers now. It's a great way to look at criticism without having a vested interest in what is being criticized. Anyway, let's move on to everything else. GDC is coming up. We're going to have a lot of interviews and some very, very fascinating discussions, both this week and in some of the weeks to come, all from the convention. One thing I truly expect to see a lot of, because I'm seeing press releases and stuff coming in, are people gravitating towards virtual reality. Oculus Rift is obviously way out there. That is the name everyone's talking about. But we're starting to see other companies that want to get on board. And of course, there's the frequently rumored idea that Sony themselves may have some type of headset that's going to be working with the PlayStation 4. I do not see this as a gimmick. 3D, you know, with the stupid glasses and stuff, that struck me as a gimmick, as a way to sell televisions and stuff like that. And I think the lack of presence in video games so quickly really demonstrates that. Virtual reality, it's something that people have thought about in science fiction for so long. You go all the way back to Ray Bradbury and the best story he ever wrote, the first one in the Illustrated Man, The Veldt. It is this concept of creating an illusion, the perfect illusion, one that you don't have to convince yourself, one that is happening all around you. And in that regard alone, I think it's very, very exciting. I think also it's exciting for game development because you're going to need to change how you make the game. Yes, I imagine people will look to have shooters and more conventional games on it, but in the few times I've played a traditional game, it didn't so much enhance as sometimes almost obfuscate the experience. Yes, it got my heart rate going, but it didn't fulfill on a certain level of fantasy that I actually thought it would. Other instances where it really is made from the ground up for the Oculus or for other VR, where you really are in more of an exploratory mode. I don't think combat is something that becomes so essential because there's such an excitement about being transported to a space and just the mystery of being in a location that you don't fully understand. Think about Gone Home. On something like VR, you know, just you're more inside of that house. You get more of that sense of trying to understand your environment. I have a friend of mine who is working on a game, and it's undersea. And it's a fascinating way of, I just want to be underneath the ocean. I don't need that much more danger and adventure. I think the game has it, but it really seems to de-emphasize what has to be the hook for so many games out there, which is twitch, which is action, which is engaging. You could have something slower, something more methodical. It opens up storytelling avenues. I'm very excited to see what the indie scene does with this because I think that's where the experimentation is going to be and will help inform maybe big budget operations that are using the virtual reality technology. I think the biggest issue I see for this going down the line, outside of sort of the manufacturing of these headsets, is if we have a whole bunch of different formats, are we going to fragment the development? I mean, how much will it cost to try to make it work for an Oculus, make it work for you know, a console manufacturer, maybe a couple of the other ones out there? That could cause a lot of confusion and just slow down the innovation. I would love to think that maybe there is some sort of standard format, there's some sort of standard engine that is applicable to many of the different ways that you can experience it. It's something I hope to learn about more while I'm at the Game Developers Conference because, you know, I want to feel like I'm someone else. Yeah, I do hope that maybe there will be an application for the Oculus Rift. It'll make me feel like I'm younger, that I have a full head of hair, that I don't have to grow, you know, a beard just to prove to myself that I have follicles that are active other than my back and my ears. Yes, that's where Dollar Shave Club comes in for you guys who are not struggling with those problems. They make shaving easy because they just bring the razors to your house. You don't have to go down to the store. You don't have to look at a bunch of different razors, say Ultra and Extreme, try to figure out what the hell that means. And then you try to open that clamshell packaging and you end up kind of slicing your wrist open and then there's blood just flying everywhere. No, they make it easy. They just bring it to your house. And they bring you some other bathroom goodies as well, like Dr. Carver's Easy Shave Butter. It helps make your shave easy and it's butter. We all like butter. Butter makes things taste better. Also, One Wipe Charlie's. These are butt wipes that smell like peppermint, so you can have a pepperminty butt. You can also use it on your face. Just probably want to keep that quiet and away from your girlfriends and other people that are out there. So there you have it, Dollar Shave Club. Shave time, shave money. To learn more about it, go to dollarshaveclub.com/Sessler. So something that may not be as present at the Game Developers Conference, but sure was kind of like the talk of everything many years back, motion controls. I recently had a chance to play Kinect Sports Rivals with Microsoft, and I was like, Kinect, blah, 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 blah. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I'm not gonna even just guess if it was one-to-one or anything like that, but sort of a climbing section of it where you're going up one of those rock walls and you're trying to race against someone else. It was fun, it was interesting, and I enjoyed it. Am I saying this is the second coming of games? It probably isn't, but I know there's so much negativity towards motion controls because the Wii had so much promise. Everything started to feel more gimmicky. Everyone wonders why they're paying extra money for an Xbox One if it has the Kinect. I am just not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater on motion controls. I am the first one to say that probably the one game that ever really made me, not excited, but I saw the benefit of motion controls was Super Mario Galaxy, the waggle. That made complete sense. It was quick, it was easy, and it actually was a better way of getting to that motion in the game than if I had to press a button. I have not seen an astounding application beyond that, but that is not to say it isn't going to happen. And one of the reasons I did support the idea of Microsoft bundling in the Kinect with every Xbox One was that some developer out there can then reliably know that that technology is available to all the consumers, all the players of the game. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to happen, but there is the sense that it's an extra button, it's an extra enhancement, it's a way to open up what the game space can offer for the player. And it's just, I think we get a little bit too regimented in our thinking that if it was bad over there, then by the transitive properties of association, it is bad in every other instance. And that is about as contrary to innovation, it is contrary to creativity as one can think. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do this all the time, but somebody might make a good case for it.